Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Knight, and welcome to our second UNN broadcast. This is our second week, and we have quite a bit to talk about this week. So first off, we're going to be talking about last week's raid event. We also have an interview with Engulfed that we will play after we talk about it a little bit. So Blitz, what did you think about the raid event last week?
That raid event, it was peak. I could say is even the GOAT. Engulfed, he makes the most wonderful maps ever. Plus, we got to see some pretty fun things like drop pods and pelicans.
Yeah, I completely agree. Engulfed went completely just like he hit it out the ballpark with this raid event, man. Normally we have, the Hellcat mech raid or something of the sort, but this time, it was a standard raid, standard blueprint, get the AA towers and then defeat whatever. But everything else just added onto it so well and built onto it so well that it honestly felt like such a different thing. We had pelicans, drop pods, we spawned in ships overhead. Honestly, the event itself was just amazing, and on screen we have some battle footage taken by yours truly, and let's get over to our interview with Engulfed.
Alright, hello. I am your infield reporter for the UNN, Bread, and I am here interviewing.
Hello, my name is Engulfed, Lieutenant Colonel of the ODSTs.
We are, interviewing Lieutenant Colonel of the ODSTs, Engulfed. So Engulfed, how did you think today's event went?
It could have gone better, but overall it was really good, in my opinion. I'm happy everybody liked it.
I do agree with that. Setup was a bit meh, but you know what? We got through it from what I saw.
Hey man, process of, learning how everything's running down,
Exactly.
It's fine.
You want to tell us, like, what the hardest part of the process of making this map was?
The time, mainly, because I obviously have IRL things going on, but besides that, the animations and setting up the animations with the buttons and everything, that was the biggest pain in the ass.
You want to give us a quick rundown of how that works?
There's 4 different animations. The pods here right now is an idle animation, the first idle animation. Then the second animation is the drop animation. Third animation is the idle animation down there in the ground. And then the fourth animation is the reset button to bring them back up. And then I had to do that for every single thing. The turrets, the 2 sets of pods, the pelicans. There was going to be more, but time, and deadlines restrained me with that.
So now that people want a run back of the raid event, what do you plan on adding to the next, version of this map?
Probably more weapons, clean up the animations, add the missing animations that were supposed to be here. For example, the Phantom Escort, the Phantom Gunboats guarding the base, and then the Plasma Shield guarding the base as well, so people won't just snipe the enemies on the mountains.
And now we're going to cover our event schedule for this current week. Blitz, take it away.
Ooh, okay, so on Monday we have Venom and our favorite commander, Justbread. On Tuesday we've got Nano and Bravo. Wednesday we have our wonderful General Dookie and our Colonel Ghosted, with combat, of course, hosted by Striker. Thursday we have Ghosted and Rav. And, of course, Friday, Saturday, we have the Generals, Sleepy and Noble.
And now we're going to be moving on to a recruitment run. Now, as usual, I will be letting Blitz go over the numbers. So, Blitz, take it away.
We've had about 4 to 5, pretty much like usual. We're pretty good at recruiting.
Awesome. Now, another thing we're going to be going over that happened during the recruitment run is the Covenant. If you're interested in joining the Covenant side of the UOH, then we have an interview with almost all the information that you're going to need. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your UNN infield reporter, the ODST hero, and today we are joined by our lovely Mr. Waffles, who has the pleasure of joining the UOH for the very first time. What were your initial thoughts when getting recruited? Like, what was going through your head when Blitz brought you the idea of joining the server?
Well, I thought it would be really fun because he is my brother, right? And
Right.
the map is very nice. I really like it. Seems very proper. You guys know what you're doing.
And it was made
I'm
by our
excited to
very
join.
wonderful generals. And for my second question, have you like, what do you expect from the UOH? Like, what do you think you're gonna see while you're here?
Well, I don't really know what to expect, really, if I'm being honest. But I've heard about the combat in here. I've never heard of combat in VR chat before, so I'm excited to see what that's like.
Awesome. And I bet they'll train you well at it too. Now, for my third question, okay. Have you been in any like PvP server beforehand?
I have been in a Onward Milsim, so that's pretty fun. Nothing like this though.
I could never imagine what that's like.
Lots of kit.
Lots of kit. Alrighty.
Yep.
And then I guess for my two final questions, what general knowledge do you have on Halo? Like what type of Halo things brought you here? What about Halo do you like exactly?
I played some of the games, and I really like, the Master Chief stuff and all that.
Have you been in a Halo PvP server before, or any PvP servers like this?
Yeah, one. It's a Star Wars one.
Love to hear that. And for my third question, what are your initial thoughts of the server? What do you think you're going to see while you're here?
Definitely. Definitely. Some cool stuff. Like maybe. I don't know. You guys can write in those warhogs. Shooting people, stuff like that. Funny stuff.
That's kind of what you do expect. Oh, plenty of funny stuff and shenanigans. That's all these guys are about. But we do have to lock in sometimes. And for my last two questions, have you previously been in any type of PvP server, like combat-related servers?
Yeah, of course.
Star Wars one, right? Same one?
Yeah.
See, I knew it. And for my very last question, what expectations do you have for yourself coming into this server?
None. I don't really got. Well, to have fun at the very least. That's a pretty high expectation. But other than that, not really. Hoping for a good time, stuff like that.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your UNN infield reporter today with a slightly different topic. Instead of focusing on the main meat of the UOH, we're going to talk about its sister half, the half that was recently added, the Covenant. Now, I don't know much about the Covenant, so we have brought ourselves Takoko here to explain and tell us all about it. Takoko, please. How does the ranking system of the elites work? That's my first question. I really want to know how that goes.
Well, first of all, the Covenant ranking system is more complex than as many would initially seem. The Covenant doesn't have a set standard military as the UNSC does. So the way that their Covenant ranks are set are more interdependent of each other. The infamous Ultras actually don't have command over any troops. So that was one of the big hurdles that we had to overcome whenever making the Covenant. What we ended up settling on was a linear-based system where different castes were able to be chosen or even progressed through, and eventually you would reach higher and higher ranks. Each of the warrior classes, such as Zealots, Rangers, and Ultras, like I mentioned earlier, are set to the side almost and would report to certain ranks, as well as the Field Master and Field Marshal of the specific war host.
So it's almost kind of like battalions and platoons.
Sort of. The Covenant actually has a very similar system known as the Kaid. Those I hope to implement pretty soon, but I can't say much on those. Those would be similar and more akin to fleets as well, which is another thing that we hope to implement, as well as our leader, General Terra Scout's own personal fleet, which serves as our general chat for now.
Awesome. So, speaking about that more, what is the chain of command? Like, who's on top? Like, who are the people that are working this elite side of the UOH?
Well, as of now, the main people who've been setting up the Covenant side of the UOH is Terra Scout. Huge thanks to him. He has been a great role model and a great person helping set this up. Illist himself, he has been helping. He was our first major. You know him as Henry, as well as Zuka. He was. Us three have really been helping to start things up. I have been really invested in the lore accuracy side of things, but them two, they bring something to the table that I really can't, and I am eternally grateful for them.
That's awesome. Now, I just have one last question. Say someone like myself would like to join the elites. How would I do that?
First thing you would do is you would talk to one of the four that I've mentioned previously, specifically General Terra Scout. If you have a real interest and want to become part of our covenant, then talk to him and he can get you started in the minor program, which is essentially the start to the covenant and should get you well on your way to becoming a glorious and honor-hungry Healy like me.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Takako. I appreciate this interview, and that is the news.
And now with the recruitment run out of the way, we are going to be addressing probably the biggest thing to happen this week. The ODSTs are switching from the platoon system back to the battalion system. Now this, as far as I've heard, is a welcome change with the ODSTs, as we'll get into in a moment. Most of the ODSTs didn't like the change. Blitz, I know you last time were a little in between with the entire change. You kind of wanted to see where it went, and as for myself, I didn't like it too much at all. And it seems that for the most part, everyone's voices, at least on the ODST side, has been heard. Now, for what this means for Marines is, I'm pretty sure they're gonna stay going through with the trial run for the rest of the month. Which for this week we'll be getting interviews about that with the Marines. And we have a little clip to share of Dookie making the announcement that ODSTs will be sticking to the battalion system. So we'll let that go on screen now, and then we'll get back to you with a couple different opinions.
Alright, so I know a lot of ODSTs are unhappy with the platoon system and how it's set up and shit. So, we're gonna go back to the old system for ODSTs. We're gonna have everybody back in their teams how it was, and everything like that. It's gonna be exactly the same. Does anybody have any questions about that? What's up, Ranger?
We're gonna wait.
Will we still be using these avatars? Or will we be switching back to the old ones?
You'll be in your.
You can.
I mean, besides the Hellcat, you'll be in your normal avatar.
Yeah.
So I can.
I think Golf wanted to do his little thing where he merged.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, the company. Oh yes.
So
sorry. Yeah. What hunkin' J-man are wearing, pretty much. And sorry, apologies. I forgot.
Alright, any other questions? No questions at all? Is everybody cool with this? If somebody's unhappy with it going back, please make it known now.
Jump up in the air, raise your hand, you know?
I don't want to hear complaining after.
Yeah.
Alright.
We're all good, right?
That's all I had for you guys. I appreciate y'all staying and listening. Y'all are good to head out, and y'all are dismissed.
So before we wrap up our news broadcast for the day, we have a couple more we have to discuss. First up, our opinion on the entire ODST changing back to battalion situation, because despite being the media, we are also entitled to our own opinions. And then we have not as big announcement, but still pretty big. We have information on a tournament that happened between some of our UOH members and another Halo server, and then we have a surprise announcement at the end of that. But let's go over what's your opinion on the ODST changing back to battalions?
You know, I'm quite glad about it. Aside from the fact I did kind of want to try out the platoon system for just a little bit, but regardless, I'm happy that we're back on battalions for ODSTs.
As am I. In my opinion, the platoon system wasn't something that needed to happen quite at all. I was happy with how our systems were beforehand. And honestly, I'm glad that at least the ODSTs are back to simplicity. Though I do wonder how the Marines are gonna handle everything, but I'm sure that they will be just fine. So let's move on to our interviews with our tournament participants.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your UNN infield reporter, THEODSTHERO, and today we are here with Engulfed, who has just recently returned from a tournament against another Halo server. Now, Engulfed, please tell me, what was seeing all those other people from another server like? Was it intimidating at all?
No, not really intimidating. Actually, it was very motivating, seeing that we're not the only Halo group. We saw a lot of ODSTs as well. So it was kind of like a confidence booster, a little bit of an ego booster, to see who's the better Halo group, pretty much it.
And speaking of the better Halo group, why don't you tell us the placements for the tournament?
I seem to have gotten third place, and then another one of their boys got second. And then our commander for 9th Battalion, Justbread, got first place, dominated the tournament.
So my next question for you is, when you were battling with, you said it was one-on-ones, right? When you were battling with the enemy, were you nervous at all about losing?
Honestly, no, because they were unfamiliar with how we run our systems, our PvP systems. So we were a little bit confident. Some people we did hear like them making comments that they're familiar with these systems. So we kept our eyes and ears open, visualizing how they played so we can kind of have an upper hand. But besides that, we were pretty confident and, good vibes, good energy, helps you win the game.
It's amazing to hear. Now, I guess for my final question, when you were there, did you feel as if the UOH had prepared you for such a tournament, or at least one of that magnitude against another server? Do you feel as if your training and everything you've practiced up until this point prepared you for that tournament?
Oh yeah, 100%. Us going through multiple, combat events, learning different tactics. Our old commanders and captains also teaching us their ways of combat, strategies, all of that building up, helping us, for stuff like this. So I'm pretty happy I learned all this stuff in the past to use now.
Today we are joined by our commander of the 9th Battalion, Bread, who has just recently returned from a tournament against another Halo group. Now, Bread, I want you to tell me all about the combat at that group. Were they any good?
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty good. I feel like if we offered them some of our maps, they could get used to like the combat here, because they're more used to like 2.0 from what I'm being told by like the host of that tournament. Awesome people, by the way. Really love them.
Blazing is crazy. But from that aside, my second question to you is, what does it feel to be the winner? Number one, right?
I don't know. It's like a massive ego boost, I guess you could say. It's pretty nice. I'm
like
glad I was
right
able
now?
to. Huh?
You feel like him right now, huh?
Hell yeah. I mean, dude, I was able to like
Here.
win a tournament representing UOH entirely. Like, I don't know, I'm just glad I was able to come up top.
That's awesome. And I guess, let me see what else. Oh, did you get to fight alongside any of your teammates at all? What was the tournament setup like?
It was originally it was supposed to be a 3v3 tournament, but there was like a little bit of lack of numbers or something that we had to turn it into a 1v1. tournament between everyone. It was best of 2 to 3 or something.
So
But
it's like
it
Mortal
was a
Kombat
pretty
almost.
basically sort of like a Mortal Kombat type situation, but it was like nice. It was good. I liked it.
So how was like the winner's structure done? Was it like you fight someone and whoever wins moves on to fight the next person?
Basically.
Very good. But oh, here we are. Do you believe that all the training you've received in the UOH has prepared you for such a tournament?
Absolutely. I wasn't expecting to go into the tournament like with another server, but I feel like all the training, all the combat I've done in the server for UOH has helped me along the way with the skills I've gained, with like the experience I've had. Really amazing. It helped me through that tournament, through and through.
So, as a commander, do you think you have prepared your troops for a situation like this tournament?
Absolutely, and if not, then I prepare them even more, give them more intensive trainings. I wouldn't be a commander, I wouldn't be a leader if I were to like not prepare them for another tournament. You know, we're ninth. It's like what we're supposed to, be. We're supposed to be the best. We're supposed to be, very accurate with what we do. It's pretty much the gist.
Awesome. And for my final question, do you have anything you would like to say to everyone that participated in the tournament, specifically your opponents?
Yeah. You guys were pretty cool. I loved you guys. I would love to do another tournament with you guys soon enough.
All right, Blitz, what do you think about our tournament participants? We had Brad and Engulfed and someone else that we didn't get to interview, but our boys won. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm pretty sure our boys, they just absolutely wiped the board with them. I heard Bread got first place. Is that correct?
Yeah, Brad got first place and Golf got third place.
Pretty good from the UOH, I'd say.
Yeah, our boys are well trained.
Whopping everybody.
Including rival servers. But we have just one more announcement to make before we wrap up our podcast for the week. So on Sunday, which is yesterday for us, we had an interview with the owner of the server, Mr. Noble Titan. And it went well. Brilliant interview.
Great man.
But it's a little long, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna post it as its own video. So it'll be on the uncut version of it, with the exception of like 2 little, funny gag moments. But with the exception of that, I will be publishing the basically uncut version of the Noble interview. So with that out the way, I'd like to appreciate everybody for watching our second broadcast and staying tuned weekly. I know it's a bit of a wait for some people, but hey, I appreciate your patience. And we will see you all next week.
So Narcer, tell me, what'd you think of the raid event?
I thought the raid event was pretty nice. It was actually like a new thing for us to do. The map was amazing. The drop pods, though, it was like a new thing. It was still good. Hopefully, Engulf still continues to work on that map more, and we can have very good like raid events again.
So yeah, man, let's start the questions off with a bang here. What'd you think of yesterday's event?
Yesterday's event, it was, in my opinion, it was pretty good. Other than all the complaining I heard around it, but in my opinion, all of it was pretty fun.
Yeah. Do you believe do you agree with other people that I feel like prep time should have like been easier?
Prep time did in fact take quite a bit of time due to us using communication or like comms.
Oh, okay.
And there's a bunch of confusion around that. I was a bit confused myself, but until when I found out about our system, and then I got like, all right.
So, Striker, let's start things off with a good question here. What would you think of yesterday's event?
Oh, I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun working as a team and with other people and all that with big raid events. They're just fun. We need to do them more often, obviously, but
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you also agree with other people that the planning should have been like a little better? Because it was like a 40-minute prep time yesterday, from what others say.
yeah, just a little bit better. But even though it took that long, I still had a lot of fun with it.
So, Val, I'm gonna start things off with a question here. What'd you think of yesterday's raid event?
Oh, it was amazing. I loved it. I love running around like a little turd, getting shot. It was pretty fun. I loved it.
I'm hearing a few people saying that the prep time should have been like a little better. Do you agree with that?
No, it was perfect. I mean, they couldn't really have done anything better because, they could have started at 30 minutes earlier, but I mean that's about it.
Yeah, I heard it was like a 40-minute prep time.
They did the best with the time they had.
Hunk, I'm here to interview about the raid event, so please tell me, what were your thoughts when first going into the raid event?
Well, first, I thought the drop pods were pretty neat. They were something definitely new that I haven't seen before in my whole experience in UOH. The weapons were very limited, but regardless of that, it was still a fun event. In general, I just think the drop pods were neat, the mission objectives seemed neat, and hearing about we're going to take care of a profit was pretty motivational.
Obviously, you're in the uniform of yesterday, unless that is your standard uniform, but it looks great. How did you guys enjoy the raid event?
It was decent fun for almost everybody involved. Among FTLs, it was a little more complicated, but I think overall, just the event itself was fun.
What were your thoughts on the Pelican drops, drop pods, all the animations?
All that stuff was amazing.
What did you think about
the
that?
Map creator, Engulfed, he did amazing. Everything was perfect. You can't see me. I'm moving my hands right now, but the ODST drop pods, the Pelicans, the whole map itself, the Grunt Goblins, which that was a joint effort between Noble, Sleepy, and Engulfed. But everything else, it was all fucking amazing. The map was great.
I see you're very enthusiastic about the event. Did you have a lot of fun?
I did. We had some small issues with communication and organization, but other than that, it was a pretty fun event.
So, Dookie, that raid event yesterday, how much fun did you have playing that?
Dude, I actually had a lot of fun. It was very different from what we've done. It isn't something that can be repetitive, so I enjoyed it a lot. The teamwork was excellent with all the teams. I know it was a little bit of a struggle, like behind the scenes and shit, but overall it was fun, and I think everybody enjoyed it quite a bit.
My plan is I want to try to get the other